I have the pleasure of having Darshan with us, Jess Thompson, as well as Maria Ladd. And I am so excited to have this group together. We're going to do a quick around the room in case you don't already know these faces. And then we want to talk about our recent experience at Save Our Sites last week and why it was such a great event and what we all got out of it. So Jess, Maria, you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Jess Thompson. I am the founder and CEO of Clinical Research Pro. We are a training organization for clinical research professionals by clinical research professionals. This is my second year at SOS, and I'm so excited to talk about it. It is truly one of my favorite events of the year, which is saying a lot because I kind of get to go to a lot of conferences. So I can't wait to talk more about it. Maria?
Excellent, thanks. Maria Ladd, and I've been in the industry, started out in CROs for about 20 years, and I'm a site operations consultant. This was my first SOS. I missed it last year. I really wanted to go and I couldn't. And after looking at all of the promos afterwards, I was so sad. So, definitely FOMO led me, and I'm so glad that I got to go. It was great.
Yeah, and for those of you who might not already know me, so like I said, Edye Edens from the Kulkarni law firm. So I actually had gone last year and had a chance to speak on a panel with Jess, and then was able to go again this year. Absolutely. I've had years I've gone to no conferences. I've had years where I've gone to 50. And this just remains one of my absolute favorite conferences for all the reasons that we're going to talk about. Darshan, I'd love for you to do a quick short intro because I know you have a different experience than me.
Yeah, I was the exact opposite. I mirrored Maria a little bit more. For those people who don't know me, I'm Darshan Kulkarni, which I think as of last week, I might be called a dancing lawyer for some apparent reason. So
we'll cover that.
I will cover that. But I'm the principal attorney at the Kulkarni law firm. I work here with or for Edye. I'm not quite sure yet. And I'm excited because this was my first SOS. First of all, I had to support SOS because it's a lot of my friends. It's a lot of people I really love and respect, independent sites. Just everyone in the community, before I even got there, it was about community, and it really bore itself out. And thank you for having me.
What I would love to start with and just talk about is just like layout, infrastructure. What was it like to be a part of this community, whether it was attending the sessions, being a part of the session? What was your prep like for Maria and Jess and Darshan? Like, what did you do leading up to this to make sure it was a successful conference? Both similar to what you would normally do, but also totally different. Like I know Jess and I were texting, how many conferences do you go to with a suitcase full of costumes? Right. Like, so it's just
becoming more and more, Edye. It's becoming more and more.
It actually is, right? It actually is. So at any rate, what things did you guys do to prepare?
So mine's going to kind of be out of the box because my badge said Ambassador of Fun, which I am so happy about. Let me just tell you that I found something that I get to be myself in my career in clinical research. Like, had you told me that I could build a blanket fort at a conference and like still be seen as a professional, I would have told you were losing your mind, like absolutely losing your mind. So
I'm going to wear tie-dye next year and Darshan's going to lose his mind. It's going to be great.
He's going to be in tie-dye too. We have a whole year, Edye. We've got a whole year to convert him. It's fine.
No. I am going next year as a lady lawyer. That's my new goal.
And I'm going to brush up on my swing so I don't fall.
There you go.
Again,
yeah,
see, right?
Yeah,
and I'll be the dancing attorney. We'll switch roles. That'll be great.
This is going to be so great. I can't wait. And I want to be a part of any of this. If we do a flash mob, I'm in. But to say, I went last year, and the blanket fort started as a joke on LinkedIn. And part of my mission has been in this industry is to really bring mental health to the forefront, to talk about it, to make it safe to have those conversations. So a lot of my prep for this was, prepping for the blanket fort, which shout out to Darian Trojak. She brought all the stuff with her because it is hard to travel with
with a whole fort worth of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So mine was a little different, but the joy, I think that is the big difference in this conference for me, is that some of these smaller conferences that are targeted to the clinical research professionals that are not director level and above. So many of these conferences focus on director level and above, and you can feel that. You can feel that they have to be there, not that they want to be there. SOS, they want to be there. They want to connect. They want to have these conversations. They want to learn and grow.
And did you feel like you packed differently even last year to this year? What about you, Maria, Darshan? It was your first time. Like, what did you believe the hype, or did you I know Darshan packed a suit. I mean, he's Darshan.
This was my first SOS. and I had read everything about it. So it absolutely met and exceeded expectations for me. The other thing is I didn't go with a lot of prepared this or that because my whole motto was listen, listen, listen. I really wanted to immerse myself in site experiences and what they had to say, to the point that kind of sadly, I didn't even think to take a lot of pictures of myself with people who were as a consultant. This was my very first conference that I went not representing a CRO or, sponsor type things. It was very refreshing. I actually had site staff come up to me after some of the panels and say, I'm so glad you said that because, I'm not sure I would have been comfortable saying that. And I said, well, I'm representing myself and my own thoughts and opinions. And so, that does give me a little bit more leeway. So I have some ideas for the SOS people for next year. Yeah.
Try being there with this guy for the first time. I had to be on all sorts of my best behavior. Like I had a witness, and he's a lawyer.
Did you say you were on your best behavior?
Oh yes, that was as good as
Oh
it
my
gets.
God.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets.
Did you see Jess Thompson's look right now? She was as terrified as I was.
No, I know.
No, she just knows I'm serious.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that really was her best. I'm really sorry.
All I heard last time was how much fun Edye had. The pictures of her with those wigs, I was super jealous. And I tried convincing my panel to do wigs, and they looked at me like I was crazy. So I couldn't pull off the wigs. So what I had to figure out is how do I just give back? I usually try to give back in terms of content. This time I was trying to aim to give in terms of ridiculousness, but that didn't happen either. So I landed up giving back in terms of just presentations and content and
dance lessons.
Work stuff.
And dance lessons.
Exactly.
I mean,
well,
you gave
out
give
dance
how
lessons.
to avoid and handle a 483.
Right.
Which, by the way, is live if folks are interested.
Yep.
Just like our SOP giveaway, but more importantly, you gave away dance lessons. Like you are now the dancing lawyer. Like
I also put at least 3 different women up in the air as part of the swinging.
With consent.
With
consent. I wasn't on that. Rude. I can't believe you didn't tell me.
Where was I when all this happened? Yeah.
Right? Come on,
now
Darshan.
We have to go on the cruise.
Well, we want to hear about the cruise anyways, so that's the next one up, right?
Yeah. So for me, what I'd love to shift to is obviously it's clear we all had a great time.
And Edye, can I add one more thing before?
Please go.
Which is just to be clear, and Maria said this. She didn't take enough pictures. I didn't take enough pictures. None of us did. We were so busy. Yeah. There are pictures now live that are available. Please go download them because those pictures are incredible.
They're fantastic.
Oh,
and
good.
they did. I want to make sure, obviously, we all had a great time. I think we have clearly some very positive things to say. What are the next steps? What's the takeaway? I'm riding high on, this 1 or 2 things for this particular group moving forward. And I'll have you go first, Maria.
What I will say is that a question that I asked several times of site people was, where do you go to network with other sites just, off the cuff, brainstorming, gut checking, getting advice, giving advice, mentoring, where are you going to connect with your peers at the site? And the answer that I got 100% was nowhere. So I made a promise to these folks. I said, when I get home, I'm going to create first a LinkedIn group and make it a forum and a collection space so that sites could all do that. So I did that. If you look on LinkedIn groups, I created Clinical Research Site Collective. I sent it out as an invitation to all of my contacts. You can contact me, Maria P. Ladd, on LinkedIn. Also, I'm collaborating with Jess, and that information will be available through her organization. So what I really want, I don't want to keep it just to sites. I'm inviting everybody, but I want voices of the site. I want the community of the site to feel like this is a space where they can share, learn, grow, network, brainstorm, gut check, the whole thing, because I have that in my particular kind of space, and I want them to have it. And so I want to work and make this community grow to give that space back to the site.
Honestly, I think that one of the biggest takeaways for me was how many people told me that they really cherished a just quiet area. And I've been working with other conferences to offer, even if they don't want to do the blanket fort, that's fine. That is very niche. Like, we're going to have to, that's fine for those sensory spaces. So we've been collaborate with Magi on doing this, BWICR, a couple others, having that sensory space, because it is so important to just have an area that you can get away from the hustle and bustle. So I'm going to continue to be talking to people that are running conferences, that are doing those kind of things, because we are seeing how important that is. We were able to do meditation as well in the blanket fort, which was really cool. Magi, we're doing yoga. BWICR, we're doing yoga. So really just trying to continue that trend of, okay, these are our clinical research professionals are whole individuals. They're not just a means to an end for project delivery.
I think my takeaway is letting people understand that we are human. We want to talk to you. It's not always about the billable hour. We want to talk to you to see if we can help. This is a community. Our takeaway is reach out to us. We're part of that community. We want to contribute. It makes us happy to be able to be a resource for you as we continue. I'll be honest, I thought I was good in putting out the content. I see Edye connecting with people every single day at this conference. There are people there who love her. Jess, you love her. I see you guys hanging out.
Honestly.
Oh, I can find ways. I can find ways.
You're not at our daily team meetings. And I think for me, having it been the second year, last year, that was exactly how I felt. It was like, oh my gosh, this is not just this like community I kind of thought I had online, and this was going to be like a catfish moment. Like I was going to get there and everybody was actually not cool. Nobody really cared. You know what I mean? No one was who they said they were online. It was completely genuine. It was so authentic. And that was why but I saw everyone last year, like doing all this give back, like the fort and all these different activities. And I was like, you're so selfish. All you did is show up and speak and hand out your own business card. And so that was all the more reason why then with Darshan being his first year, I was like, you understand, we have to do something. Like you're going to get there in like a day and you're going to feel so guilty because this is such a giving community. And it's like, of course it's marketing. Of course it's about getting your name out there. I mean, who isn't at a conference for that purpose? But it's so much more than that. Like, it's like, I want to really hear what you think about this. Was this helpful? And if it wasn't, tell me what I should have done and I'll do that. And so that's where I think it's like a really cool opportunity. Plus for us, it's a weird dynamic. Like when lawyers give something away for free, especially when your company says law firm, people are like, yeah, right. Like, what is the catch? Like, what is the catch? So to have a community that knew us well enough to know that like, no, we really just want to help, like seriously. And also if it didn't help, we want to hear that too. Like we want it to be something that helped.
So much about the sharing and not having to have a project in order to have a conversation and brainstorm. And tell me what your issue is. And
the number of people who were like coming up to us at lunch or networking hours, like, is it okay if I ask you like a freebie question? And we were like, yeah, it's called talking. There was even one where Darshan and I horribly disagreed at the answer, which I think at first we scared the table, and then we made them realize, but this is actually why we work really well, because we would give you both of these perspectives and likely come to the middle and say, look, your best course of action is something in between what we're both saying, right? And here are the ways we would both do it to give you all the ideas, everything that's on the menu, so then you can make your best decision. And that's what this whole community was doing. It's like, it's giving you all the different variants, all the different opportunities, all the different types of vendors, even in one space, even if they're quote unquote competitors.
Yeah, collaboration, not competition. I think that says it so much at this conference. And one thing I want to say, like, because even though, we do the blanket fort and those kind of things, you guys did giveaways, but it's also so important, like the giveaways that so many people are doing is their time and their energy. And that is truly what matters. And what sets this conference apart is that people are coming with, the right mindset, the right, I don't know, they're in it for the right reasons. It feels like it's not like it's transactional.
It's purpose driven.
Building.
It's purpose driven.
Yeah. And I just really love that. So
no, a huge shout to the founders. Again, just absolute thanks and gratitude to everyone involved operationally, as well as
the media team.
Yeah, as I say, we'd be here another 5 minutes if I tried to name everyone, but I think it's suffice to say we are all big fans. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us today. Again, absolute pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Call, click, or email.